Hey y'all, the second part of my declutter series, and we are going to be taking a look at cream blushes. I don't really know what order I'm going to go in, so I'm just going to start with the ones in the compacts, and then we'll kind of make our way through the list. Okay, so here are my cream blushes in a compact, and as you can see, the little container I have allocated for them is overflowing and doesn't fit, so I've got some that aren't in here. So the first one we're going to take a look at is the Bobbi Brown Pot Rouge in the shade number 6 Powder Pink. It is very grubby and well loved. I love this shade. So even though it is a slightly warmer pink, something about this shade just really melts into the skin and it looks like just a natural flush. I absolutely love this shade. Will not be decluttering this. Next, I have this little trio from Laura Geller. This is the Pink Please blush duo. So you have 3 shades, which are Rosy Posy, Fuchsia is Bright, and then Petal Pusher. So we'll work our way from left to right. Oh, it's very balmy feeling. So this first shade is very much a like Pepto-Bismol pink. Interesting. That is more of a kind of cool lavendery pink. And this last shade in here, a little bit stiffer and formula. This is more of a highlighter. Very pretty, very cool toned, which I'm very fascinated by. I want to play with this. These colors, actually, you know what? These shades might have a little too much brightness for me because I can do these cooler colors, but I need them to be slightly more kind of muted out or else they kind of sit on top of the skin. I'll think about these. These are a maybe. Next, I have the Beauty Blender, and this is the Bounce Liquid Whip Cream Blush in the shade Cheeky Pink. This is a relatively new product, and I really love it. It's a really beautiful pink, and it's very similar in the tone and the depth and color as the powder pink from Bobbi Brown. It's just a little bit more brighter, a little bit more kind of vivid in its tone, and I really like this. So I have 2 of the Glow Play blushes from MAC. I have the shade Cheer Up and Blush Please. So Cheer Up was the first one I got, and I remember when I went in, I got this shade because they didn't have the shade I wanted, and I wanted to try the formula. So there is Cheer Up. Here is Blush Please. Love this. I feel like my sister-in-law would really like this, so I'm gonna keep Blush Please, pass on. Fenty Beauty Cheeks Out Freestyle Cream Blush. I have the shade 06 Daiquiri Dip. Now, this is a very bright, very vibrant red, and I'm gonna swatch this. I really enjoy this because it's a nice kind of blue red, and there's just something very special about this color. I really enjoy it, and I'm going to hang on to it. I have one of the newer cream blushes from Refi Beauty. This is in the shade Malaya. Looks like this, and I don't think I've talked about this on my channel before. I'll swatch this right here next to the Fenty. It's pretty. Wow, it's very similar to the powder pink from Bobbi Brown and even the MAC Glow Play and Blush Please. It's just warmer than the other 2. I don't feel like I've given this one a fair shot, so I feel like I'm going to hang on to this one for now. Now I have one of the Melt. These are the cream blush light, and I have the shade Polished. Now remember, Polished was described as a grapefruit pink, so I'm going to swatch it right down here next to that Malaya shade. That's really pretty. I feel like I'm going to keep this one too. This is some of the cream blush shades I'm keeping. They're warmer than I kept in my powder blushes, but I feel like with cream blushes, you can really kind of adapt them. You can mix them with your foundation to kind of sheer them out a little bit. I feel like I have a lot more versatility with a cream blush than I do a powder blush. So I'm going to keep this one too. These are the first cream blush formula I ever tried. These are the Stila convertible colors. I have Camellia, Ilium, and Rose. So I'm going to start with Camellia. Now, Camellia is a shade that I kind of have a back and forth relationship with because it's, I don't know if you can see right here, but Camellia is almost like this coffee brown color, and it's okay. It's not my favorite. I almost use it as like a blush bronzer hybrid, and sometimes I enjoy this more than some of the cream bronzers I have. So this has a strong memory for me. I'm gonna hold on to it. Not doing so well in this category. I was a lot more cutthroat with my powder blushes. So far I've got one maybe and one pass. So now we have the shade Ilium. This is a really beautiful, soft, kind of like dreamy pink. So this is quite similar to the Glow Play blush in the shade Cheer Up. It has a little bit more of a coolness than the Cheer Up shade does, and I like the formula a little bit better, so keeping that one. And lastly, the Stila convertible color in the shade Rose, possibly my favorite of the three, and this is just a really rich, vibrant, rosy red, almost borderline like an oxblood red. And I want to swatch this against a newer cream blush in my collection. And this is from LYS. This is the LYS Higher Standards Satin Matte Cream Blush, and the shade is called Self Love. So here is Self Love, and I'm going to swatch this right next to Rose. Oh, they are so similar. I like them both though, and I'm keeping them, and the LYS is new. Really not doing a great job on this. Next, I have the Rare Beauty. This is the Melting Cream Blush in the shade Nearly Neutral. And just before I even swatch it, this is a formula I have such mixed feelings on. I wanted them because the package looked really cute. I like the concept. And then I've used this, I believe, 3 times, and I find it to be severely underwhelming. So I will move on to my left arm, and I will swatch it up here. So you can see it's a very sheer formula, and it doesn't do much of anything. It just it almost feels like as it dries, it starts to kind of disappear. My sister-in-law, again, she likes very subtle, kind of natural makeup. I feel like this would be right up her alley, so I'm gonna pass this on to her. Next, I have the Tower 28. This is the Beach Please cream blush in the shade Happy Hour. Looks like this, and swatch it right here. So let's swatch this. So if I compare it here to the Daiquiri Dip from Fenty, they are quite similar, but the Tower 28 has a little bit more of a blue pinkiness, and connects to this, it makes the one by Fenty look warm. If you look at the Fenty next to the ones that are more warm, it is more on the cooler side. So I like them. I think they're both beautiful. I'm keeping both. And the last two I have in my kind of cream blush compacts are these two from Tarte. These are the Tarte Breezy Cream Bronzers. This is in the shade Pink Sky, and the other one is in the shade Peach Sunset. And the more I look at the swatches on this side, I'm going to pass on the Laura Geller trio. So I'm going to swatch Peach Sunset first. Similar to other colors I kept, I like the other colors I kept better. I'm going to pass this on. This is the Breezy Cream Blush in the shade Pink Sky. Oh, this is very similar to my Stila convertible color in the shade Camellia, but it's a little bit more pink, where the Camellia is a little bit more of a warm brown. I will keep the Tarte, and I'll declutter the Stila. Okay, so compact cream blushes are organized. We have some stick blushes. This is the Hourglass Vanish Blush Stick. I have the shade Loyal, and this was another one of those items that I picked up as soon as it launched, and it's nice, but it's not my favorite. I don't have any strong attachment to it, and I feel like I have a friend who will enjoy this way more than I do. I'm going to pass on Hourglass. Makeup by Mario. This is the Soft Pop Blush Stick, and I have the shade Pale Petal. This is interesting because I've used this behind the scenes and off camera, but I've never used it on camera. It is a really beautiful, kind of bright, warm pink. It's almost like a smoother version of NARS Orgasm Powder Blush. A little bit more chic. That makes any sense. I really enjoy it. I'm going to keep the Makeup by Mario. Next, I have an Ilia multi-stick in the shade Ladybird. The shade has gone a little bit patchy. I feel like this might be going off because I got this when I worked at Nordstrom, and I left Nordstrom in 2019, and this has a 12-month shelf life. So I'm just going to trash this this because I feel like it's gone off. Let's take a look at a classic. This is the Nude Sticks Nudies All Over Face Color. I have the shade Bareback, and let's swatch. So even though this is more of like a more neutral mauve shade, it's in the same family as the Hourglass and the Ilia. I just like it a little bit more, so I'm going to keep this one. Now I have a tester of a Chanel, the Le Beige Healthy Glow Blush. This is the shade number 23. One of my girlfriends I worked with before, she gave this to me, and then pretty. It's patchy. It smells fine. Yeah, I don't know. The color doesn't wow me. I am going to pass this along. This is a Sisley Fido Blush Twist in the shade number 2, Fuchsia. Oh, that's pretty. That's very pretty. I'm keeping that. So I decluttered 3 and I'm keeping 3. So 50-50 on my stick blushes. Okay, so now we are on to more of those liquid blushes. And I don't know where to start. You know what? We'll start with an easy one. This is one of the newer Bite Daycation Whip blushes, and I have the shade Melon Mojito. And I used it once in a video shortly after I got it, and it kind of blends to nothing, and it doesn't last very long. And it has like sparkle that kind of diffuses, but kind of gathers in certain areas. Like here, everything has settled kind of right in this like little area right here, and I don't like these at all. Don't like them. Declutter. This is the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Blush, I believe is what this is called. This is the matte formula in the shade Bliss. I think online they describe this as like a pink or something, and if I apply it like that, it looks like I have a bruise that's healing. Like on me, it just pulls like really, really orange, and I don't love it. And I'm not a huge fan of this formula. Maybe I might like the glowy version better, but for me, I don't care for this one, and I'm gonna pass this on. I have the Natasha Denona Puff Paint Liquid Blush Serum, Daria, the lightest shade. I haven't used this one a ton. I need to use it more. It's pretty. It's another kind of warm pink, and I don't know. You know what? I've got more makeup than I will ever use. I'm going to pass the Natasha Denona Puff Paint on as well. Yeah, because I feel like when you go to blend it, it just kind of gets patchy. One of my friends just gave me these. These are from the Armani. I believe these are from what they were called the Neo Nude collection. These are the A blush. I have 32 and 53. So 32. Very pretty sheer color. That could be really pretty worn as a stain on the lips. So I'll hang on to this one. And then we have shade number 53. This is a beautiful red. Very blue. I'm keeping that. This shade right here reminds me of this Milani Cheek Kiss Liquid Blush in the shade 150 Wine Glow. Let's see how they compare. I've heard amazing things about this Milani formula. I struggled to find it in stock, and when I found it, this was the only shade. Yeah, they're similar, but I like how smooth and kind of watercolor like the Armani is, so I'm going to declutter Milani. Next, we have the Danessa Myricks. This is the Vision Flush. I have the shade Ballet Slippers, and when I did the Fashion Art Toronto videos, I did one of the looks for Floor's Fashion, and I used this on eyes, lips, and cheeks. It is beautiful. Once again, it's another one of those warm kind of cinnamon pinks. I don't get the name Ballet Slippers because it doesn't remind me of like ballet slipper pink. I normally think of a softer kind of neutral to cool kind of petally pink, but despite the name, I love this color and I'm going to hang on to it. We're going to talk about these three as a unit. I don't like them. They stain like crazy, and I don't know, some of my makeup artist friends, especially some of my makeup artist friends who work on film and television, they really, really like these three formulas. I don't. I'm going to swatch these on the back of my hand because they are going to stain, and I don't want to stain my hand for the rest of the video. Maybelline Cheek Heat number 10 Pink Scorch. This is number 15 Nude Burn. Now we have the Sephora Flushed Blushed, and I have the shade number 01 Cloudy Pink. I find this formula in particular to be the texture reminds me of a pore filling primer, like the Benefit Professional, and you have to use just the right pressure. Like if I go too firm with my pressure, I'm gonna kind of make streaks. If I go too light, it doesn't really do anything. So you need to have that right in between pressure, and the amount of color payoff that you get isn't worth it. So definitely gonna let go of this. I feel like I've kept so many colors close to the Maybelline Nude Burn, and I just don't love the shade of Pink Scorch. I prefer something like that in a powder blush a little bit better. Pass all three of those along. 2 shades of the Quo Beauty Featherweight Cream Blush. I have the shade 59 Pure and 42 Angelic. So here is Angelic. Beautiful. I love this shade, and compared to the other ones, I just like how smooth and even the color payoff. And Quo Beauty is a brand that we can find here in Canadian drugstores. It's really beautiful. I love this shade. And now we have number 59 Pure, and Pure is really pretty. It's just not the right shade for my skin tone, so I'm going to pass along Pure. Another product I think has just gotten too old and I need to toss it. This is the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Flush Blush, and I have the shade Peach Pop. It's so pretty, but the color doesn't spread very evenly. It's lost its kind of fruity scent that it had, and it just doesn't do your skin texture any favors. So I know this is at least 2, maybe even 3 years old. I'm gonna go ahead and just toss this. 2 of these products from Quo, I thought they were the same product range. The pink one is the Glow Getter Liquid Illuminating Drops in the shade 56 Queen, and this orange one is a dewy cheek tint in the shade Crushing. I don't remember who I heard say it, but someone said these liquid blushes from Quo were very similar to the M Cosmetics serum blushes. I haven't tried those yet. I'm going to pick up some when I'm in the States, but I was very curious to see how I at least like the texture. So I will start with the illuminator in number 56 Queen. You have to make sure you shake them really well. They do separate, and when you use it, you need 1 drop. And for me, this is on that same vein as this e.l.f. It's almost more of a highlight for me. It's got way too much pigment to be a highlighter, so I just don't love it, and I'm going to pass this along. And then the other one, the dewy cheek tint in the shade 63 Crushing. I love this formula. It's just the color doesn't do any favors for my skin because it is a bright orange. It's beautiful though. It does sheer down, and if you have a warmer skin tone than I do, I feel like you would love this. I have a friend who I think will absolutely love this, so I'm going to be passing on both of these liquid blush products from Quo. 2 more left. We have the Drunk Elephant Oh Blues Rosy Drops Fortifying Plush Blush. I remember I got these when they came out. Have I used them? No. I feel like this is a product I need to play with more, mix into my, I need to mix it into something else because I think they're designed to be mixed with other products versus being a standalone blush. So I want to play with this a little bit more. I'm going to hang on to this one for now. And my final cream / liquid blush is the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Enlivening Blush, and I have the shade Pink Soap. I love this color. I wear this color a lot. It's just kind of like a natural no makeup blush flushed color, so I'm gonna hang on to this one. Okay, so final roundup, I'm keeping 20 cream blushes and I am decluttering 12. So doing well. I'm making some headway. I don't have any kind of set numbers for a percentage. I just want to clear everything out I'm not using, so going into the new year, I can really focus on using stuff that I enjoy. So here is what I'm keeping. Here is what is going to friends and family. So I will see you all in the next video. Bye, y'all.